Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, over the weekend, we had a couple of good fights here and there, you know what I mean? And I, kind of waited to see what was going to happen on this one, just so I can show you that it doesn't, things be like I say they are. We had a fight between, an up-and-comer that we all kind of know and started to love, too. You know what I mean? 16 KOs in a row, about to push up on a 168-pound division, the chosen one. This brother's 19-0 with 16 KOs, had him in a row, but he was 18-0 before this fight. 16 KOs, just his last two fights he had, with Caceres and your boy Nicholson. He went to unanimous decision, but this is a bad boy, comes forward, handles his business, Puerto Rican cat, Edgar Berlanga, right? Belanga, it's called, and the chosen one, and we ain't heard that since LeBron, that's like, the truth. Well, that was Paul Pierce in basketball, but Errol Spence got the truth moniker, and damn it, that's Errol Spence. This is the truth, ain't it? So, when you say you the chosen one, you the chosen one, because there ain't 16 KOs in a row. Normally we behind that, unless they're named Deontay Wilder, then we don't care about it, we don't hate on it. But most of you 16 KOs in a row, you loving that. So 168-pound division, that's what Canelo just became undisputed. I still think we have a lineal champion in your boy Benavidez. But anyway, be it as it may, he fights on the weekend, Steve Rose. Mr. Infamous Steve Rose. A fighter who we know he was undefeated when he fought Gennady Golovkin, but in obscurity because he haven't fought anybody of note, right? But we saw also against Gennady Golovkin about the first 2-3 rounds, he gave Golovkin a little bit of decent fight until Golovkin just took him up out of there, right? But so he's infamous for that, Steve Rose. But let's make sure this is clear. All hail Steve Rose, right? Bottom line, Steve Rose deserved, in my opinion, a draw in that fight against Berlanga, right? Or Belanga, right? A draw, in my opinion, because I watched the fight. I'm like, after the first 4 rounds, straight up, I had it a draw after the first 4 rounds. Then I gave 5 and 6 to Belanga, which was, I just gave it to him because he did tick more. It wasn't like he beat him the hell up, but, a tick more. So that would be, by round 6, Belanga's up 2 rounds. But 7 and 8 are definitely rounds for Rose. He jabbed the hell out of him, right? The hell out of him. So it was even. So 9 and 10, what time is it? You might give number 9 to Belanga, but you're going to definitely give number 10 to Rose. We got a draw here. Now, if the crowd was going for, now this is key. Steve Rose was coming up from 160 pounds. Is a 37-year-old brother, old cat, fighting a 24-year-old brother and handling his business against a juggernaut of a fighter. Right? And we sitting around here, no matter who's talking about what, we sitting around here talking about Belanga. What he doesn't do and what he didn't do. When you just saw a brother have a exceptional performance. Right? We just saw Catterall against Josh Taylor and went crazy. Right? Went nuts. Because Catterall looked good. I think Steve Rose looked damn near as good as Catterall. Against a guy who, was more dangerous in many eyes because you can get knocked the hell out. Right, but we ain't talking about a 37-year-old. That's old. A lot of 37-year-olds, you don't even want them fighting nobody hard, unless it's a heavyweight. Heavyweights can get a little bit older. 37-year-old super middleweight that's coming up in weight. And first of all, the crowd ain't going for him. Bottom line, which they should be. We go for the underdogs most of the time. We don't. So I'm just going to say this. And another thing. Eddie Reynoso, the trainer for Canelo, We've had him with quotes, saying, for example, Jamal Charlo's a spectacular fighter and black fighters are very complicated to fight. The dude is right. The dude is right. Because Belanga had a whole bunch of problems with Steve Rose. And Steve Rose is 37 years old. Now, I ain't talking about a 37-year-old Floyd Mayweather or a 37-year-old Terrence Crawford or a 37-year-old Andre Ward. I'm talking about a 37-year-old Steve Rose. No disrespect, but it's still a Steve Rose. Right? And he moves up in weight and fights this guy to a draw. He didn't get a draw, but watch the damn fight. Imagine if this was normal. Steve Rose is a Mexican cat, right? That's fighting a big black juggernaut of a dude who knocks everybody out, right? And they fighting anywhere on the planet. Everybody's going to be going for that little guy that's old, that's fighting a bigger guy. And all the things that he was doing, all them jabs and getting out of the way from Belanga, that would have been the crowd would have been going crazy about the performance, and it would be an outrage right now. But it's a brother. We expect him to do good. Well, not we, you. Expect him to do good. And we ain't talking about Steve Rose. We just talking about what Berlanga didn't do. Steve Rose had an awesome fight, damn it. That's what's up. Let's focus. All hail Steve the hell Rose. Steve damn Rose right now. 21-1 now. Or 21-2. And it shouldn't be. And that's what Berlanga needs to do, is rematch him. Let's not try to move on and act like Steve Rose didn't do nothing. Focus. All hail Steve Rose. Say it with me. All hail Steve Rose. One more time. All hail Steve Rose. Focus, people. That's an awesome performance for a 37-year-old who we consider a damn journeyman. Okay? Handle his business. Let's focus on that. And if he didn't look like he looked, we would already be focusing on it. It's a day after and I don't even see no Steve Rose articles. A damn shame. But hey, it's boxing, y'all. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.